Audio's good, good volume. Um, Unfortunately, we don't have the background like we normally do, which sucks, but whatever. Um, right. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Girl Hands, and we're here for, I believe, forecast episode 12. I never
We're
keep track of
we're
it
gonna
anymore.
go with that.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna go
It's
with.
more than one, which is a win.
Yeah, we're in double digits, and that's all that matters. We got Super Greg, who was here last week, and we got Greg. I was gonna say it again, Grit, True Grit,
Gritster,
who's here as well, and then of course always Wiggy.
yeah.
Stabby can't make it for the foreseeable future because his herpy lip has taken over his entire head.
Half his face is falling off from his herpaderp.
It looks like a scab. He has a giant scab head.
That's true.
He's actually got class, his new semester, so he's got class for the rest of this semester. So he's probably not going to be able to do it. And I don't know. I like Thursday. Do you guys like what? What are you doing, Wiggy? Oh, that's super delayed. I should watch and I'm watching the stream. I should just watch what you guys are doing right here.
That's good. Like I ain't doing a damn thing.
He's sitting there picking his nose through his
No, I
lip.
was doing his herp lip.
Yeah. And I like doing it on Thursday. I don't know what you guys
I do
think, but
too.
I think Thursday's
Thursday's
a
a
good
good
time.
day.
So, to get right into it, I think one of the things that's really, really buzzing right now is something that you started, Wiggy, yesterday. Like in less than 24 hours, this
Yeah.
thing has gotten really, really big. It's Kill Cancer, Not People.
Right.
So, do you want to? I guess it definitely seems like it's a good cause, but do you want to explain all
Yeah,
that?
yeah, we'll go in. I'll go into it. It originally started because, well, first of all, we had Virgo kind of getting into it with about gun control and all that stuff, and I didn't really get into all that because, to be honest with you, I don't own a gun, so it doesn't really
Mhm.
affect me one way or
There's a
another.
lot of people. There were a lot of people arguing about it yesterday
Yes,
or
yes,
the day
and to be
before.
honest with you, I think if I had a gun, I wouldn't want somebody to take it away from me. But I would own an
Mhm.
assault rifle, so I'm pretty sure none of that really applies to me. I don't think
Yeah.
they're going to take my pistol. If they're going to limit my ammo, whatever. But anyway, I'm getting off topic here.
You,
But
you
that
you have
was
a gun though?
a pistol, yeah.
What
I
type of
mean,
pistol?
it's a Taurus 9
Okay.
millimeter.
Yeah.
So
I have a shitload, so
yeah, and I know there's a lot of people that do and have stronger opinions about it, but I didn't really get into it, and I was kind of like, you know, stop fighting! Why are we fighting? So that happened, and then the next day, we kind of got news that Ben's wife had been diagnosed with a brain tumor,
Horrible.
and
oh jeez.
I'm not revealing anything. We were talking about it on Twitter, so I think it's
Yeah.
okay. But I got that news, and to be honest with you, cancer stuff really hits home with me because
Yeah.
I lost my dad, I lost my stepdad, I lost my mother in law, all to cancer in the last 3 years.
Jeez, that's such a short
So,
time.
and these politicians are really ramping up minute by minute, hour by hour, gun control, gun control. It's the most important thing in the country right now, and that's ridiculous. I'm
Hmm.
sure it can be a topic, but it shouldn't be on front page news. Everything everybody's talking about. So I wanted to put a little direction into something that needed a little more attention because it was getting none at the time. It does, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but think of any other time. When does cancer really get any kind of spotlight?
Uh, I don't know. I guess there's no
No,
dedicated
no
time frame.
dedicated
No,
time.
not really.
Right,
But there's anytime a celebrity dies of cancer, normally it pops up again. I mean, but
right, right.
I
It
will.
kind of churns the wheels for a little bit, but then it rusts up again, and then when it comes back around, whenever something happens.
I wouldn't say it's completely out of spotlight though, because I think cancer. I don't know where it is relative to heart disease, but I think cancer is the number one or
The
high
number
up there
one,
for. Is it
right?
number one?
It's
Yeah, I mean
number one.
that's like the big thing
It
that
is,
that
and
kills everybody.
and so
Oh, there's so many different types of it too.
Mhm.
It's
yeah,
and you can get it from everything. So
yeah.
it's
It's not just something that smokers get anymore. I mean, there's leukemia that kids get. I mean, it affects everyone. What I read, the article that I read is if you take three people, one person in the middle looks to his right or to his left. Somebody, whether it be that person or the person to their right and left, somebody's had somebody affected by cancer, whether they're married to them, whether they're in their family, or it's themselves affected by
I would
cancer.
I would think it's even less than that. To be honest, I mean,
Yeah,
because my grandmother died of
I
cancer.
I know it. I think everybody can feel the pain of cancer. So I wanted to do something, especially with being fresh on my mind. So I wanted to put a hashtag out there and kind of, see if people wanted to participate. And within an hour, it was blowing up.
Yeah, no, I noticed
blowing
that.
up.
I noticed like a bunch of different like big YouTubers or
Yeah,
big Twitter channels
yeah.
all of a sudden
And
started retweeting it.
part of it too is because I'm really involved in YouTube,
Yeah.
and I wanted to do something that's kind of changing the direction because right now it's drama, drama, everybody downing everybody, everybody ratting someone out, bad news, this person said that. So I wanted to do something to change that a little bit. And I'm not a big
Your
YouTuber.
once I don't want to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. It went back. Okay, cool. Your
um,
the size of your video changed in the stream for a
oh, I
second.
did. Oh, okay.
It's
All
fine
right,
now.
all right. So I wanted to do something to change that, so I started that hashtag to do something positive. Let
Hmm.
the YouTube community do something good for a change instead of shitting all over one another. So it was my idea, to tweet it out to a couple of them because I mean we know a few of them.
Hmm.
I know LP and I know Cap, and those guys both have 25,000 subs apiece. And I was
Hmm.
expecting, maybe it tweeted out to their followers. They say something, it might be a little something, make a little bit of noise.
Hmm.
Well, as of today, it has been in over 366,000 Twitter feeds based on all of the YouTubers retweeting it out and responding themselves. Between El Presador, Tryhard Gamer, um, let's see, who else? Redneck, um, a few other. I know I'm forgetting a bunch of people. Uh, believe it or not, Keemstar retweeted it out, and
I saw that today.
he's the king of
Cool.
drama. So that's
Yeah.
awesome. And maybe if maybe with a little person like me in YouTube doing something like that,
Yeah.
maybe we can turn this around a little bit. But that was the main
Is
emphasis of it, and I created a YouTube channel just to put videos on there. If somebody wanted to spend their time to create a video stating why they wanted to support it and if they wanted to talk about it, so I created a whole channel just for that, and it's already got 50 subs.
so is okay. That I guess that's your first step
Yeah.
into it. Is there any other plans like any type of charity stuff or
Well,
type of game? Because I know what is it? Games Done Quick. It's a Twitch channel that does. They beat a lot of games at world record times, and they
yeah.
do that for charity. Is there anything kind of along those lines, maybe that you were planning on doing, or is it still kind of too early?
It's
It's less
really
than a
we're
day.
coming on the ground floor because to be honest with you, it blew up so fast. I haven't had time to really absorb it all.
Yeah.
My first inclination is that I wanted to get a couple of big YouTubers to get some. I wanted to get it trending on Twitter, number one.
Yeah.
And I know that's a lofty goal, but we had to start somewhere. That's the one thing I wanted to do. We're not
Hmm.
quite there yet, so I wanted to do that. And then I wanted to have a couple of T-shirts made up and send them out to some of these bigger YouTubers. Maybe have them wear one in their video just to get some more talk about it, get some buzz going about it. And
Well,
that's still in talks, but it's
I guess it
possible.
works kind of twofold too, though, because the other problem is on top of just simply gun control being a big media hot button right now, or a cultural hot button right now. There's a lot of, I guess, pointing the finger at violent video games.
Yes.
It's a big thing, and I imagine YouTubers in general. I've never seen any YouTuber or any big kind of video game person in the community saying, violent video games is the reason for violent
Right.
behavior.
Right.
So that kind of does kind of work its way into
It
that. So I
it
could see people being
yeah. It does
sensitive.
give us a platform to take a stand because, I mean, as gamers, that is no that couldn't be farther from the truth in my opinion anyway.
Oh, there were okay. Real quick then, because Grit and Subi haven't had a chance to say
Yeah,
anything. What do you guys think
absolutely. You
about
guys go
one?
ahead.
One, I don't want to get too political, but the fact that Obama's allocated $10 million towards, I guess I don't know if it's specifically with video games, but I think it's just the entertainment industry in general, trying to create a correlation between violence in the industry and then violence in people. But what do you guys think about that? Like,
Tell
Well,
Stab that's not going to see the light of day, by the way.
with the line of work I'm in, it's all it's environment, man. You learn that in your basic psychology classes and shit. My criminal justice classes. It's learn from your environment the way and some of it is mental health and you do get those people that are just bastards, and it happens. One out of maybe 100,000 is a real bastard, but a lot of stuff is just learned from environment. What's passed down from your parents to you to your kids from generations. And
But you're saying environment, but wouldn't video games can be considered part of that environment as well, or you don't think that's a big enough contributor?
I don't think it's a big enough contributor. I mean, if the parents are doing their job, they're going to be like, Jimmy, that's not real. It's a video game. You're going to, a rational, sane person's going to be able to have that switch between real and fake.
Yeah.
And, uh, you know, parents shouldn't be letting their kids play Grand Theft Auto or whatever,
Yeah.
It's just, it's not good for them. That's why they have the rating system. I mean, growing up, I had Nintendo growing up. There was the most violent video game, like Ninja Turtles, where you just beat the shit out of something. I didn't,
Um.
it's, they had Metal Gear and all that stuff, and Legend of Zelda. Hell, me and my buddies would go out and play Army in the woods and
Yeah.
fight against Zelda monsters. It just wasn't, we weren't going to go hurt other people. It's just, that's how it was. But, times have changed, people have changed. It's just, I read an article today while at work. They listed a bunch of violent video games that are out on sale now on MSN.
Yeah, I saw that.
Lo and behold, all those games are like 2 or 3 years old that they used in the article.
Yeah.
And they did. I posted the link in chat, and it just cracked me up. And
It's because it's like they have no idea anything about those games.
yeah, and they're
Or
just
care to do research on them either.
yeah, and I was reading the comments people were leaving. It was all the same stuff, and I kind of trolled a guy, said how fantastic this Activision game is, and I told him it's really not that fantastic anymore. But then I went on to say some other nice things about something to him. But it's just, I guess I was looking for something to do this afternoon, and that kind of sparked the whole violent video game. I'm like, yeah, and somebody's like, oh, they didn't even talk about Grand Theft Auto. They didn't talk about God of War, where you're ripping people's arms off. It's just,
It's a knee-jerk reaction, and they just look to instantly point the finger without really knowing. Because there are some pretty fucked up video games out there. Like, I know the difference between people growing up now and when I was a kid is like Grit already said it. NES, there weren't really a whole lot of violent video games, but now, I mean, they're everywhere, and they're super real. Well, I won't say super realistic. I'm not. I guess for a younger person, it might be very. I don't know. It could be just difficult to discern looking at that stuff on TV in reality if they're not guided. But I don't know. I find that I still find it as a long shot that just playing video games is the number one contributor. I think maybe people that are already, I guess for lack of better terminology, damaged or already kind of leaning towards that, maybe video games can help contribute to it. But I still think if that person doesn't have the guidance from their parents or from their environment, then that in turn can cause problems later on down the road.
But at the end of the day, since when are people not accountable for being parents anymore? I mean, y'all guys know my son. He plays video games, and he's not the most stable individual. But I wouldn't exactly say he's going to go out and shoot up a Walmart.
No.
It's just like rated R movies. When I was a kid, I watched rated R movies, but if the tits come out, mom and dad would be like, close your eyes. And eventually I quit closing my eyes, and I was like, oh, 3-titted bitch on Total Recall. Nice. But it's just, I listened to my parents. They said, don't do this. I said, all right, because I know what happened when I didn't listen, and that usually resulted in me not being able to sit down for a little while.
Weedy just linked in the chat the thing you were talking about earlier. I think this actually came from a news broadcast, though. It's the top 10 violent video games from parenting.com.
I saw that. I clicked on it.
So the number one's Dead Space. That's first listed. And that game came out 4 years ago, 5 years. It came out a little while ago, Dead Space.
See, that's why you didn't finish it.
Yeah, there you go. It was too violent for me.
It's too violent for you.
But Dead Space, you're fighting zombie monsters. Like, I don't think you...
Aliens.
Yeah, so that in and of itself. Mortal Kombat is there's no guns in, maybe Mortal Kombat 3 when you're Striker, but they're talking about, the latest Mortal Kombat. They always blame Mortal Kombat. They did that back in the 90s when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah. I remember I got it on Super Nintendo, and instead of the blood, it was like digital sweat coming off the people or something. They changed, they made it like a
because it's too much.
Gray color.
It was apparently too much. But Mortal Kombat, there's no guns. It's punching and fighting. I guess The two games that you could kind of consider gun violence is Medal of Honor and Call of Duty Black Ops. They can't even get the current one right, Black Ops 2. So I never played Medal of Honor, but I imagine
We
it's
all
just,
know Black Ops 2 doesn't count.
yeah, it's too silly. Nobody,
It's not a game. Get out of here.
you can't even shoot anybody. It lags so much in that game. So I guess those are the only two that can kind of fall into the same realm of violence, and then finally Fallout New Vegas, in which part of that game is you kill giant ants and
Yeah.
fucking. So they don't even fucking do research. I can just see this $10 million is going to be spent, and the games are going to come up with. Oh, it's the worst of times. So what do you think, Subi? You've been quiet over there.
I think it's all bullshit. I mean, when this guy, he killed his fucking mother, took her guns and went and shot some kids, right?
Yeah.
He played video games. It's also likely that he ate Cheerios as a kid. Should we really look at Cheerios as maybe one of the causes? Yeah. It's all bullshit. The dude was mentally unstable, and there's nothing that we're gonna do aside from literally banning all guns that would have ever changed anything that happened. An assault rifle ban. He went in there with 2 pistols and a fucking shotgun. He was going to kill somebody.
I think it was an assault rifle and 2 pistols.
No, he had a backup shotgun.
Oh, did he really?
If it was in his car or whatever, he had a backup shotgun.
Well, I guess
he
another
was trained
point.
by his mother to shoot. That's probably wasn't smart. But what parent out there seriously is like, I shouldn't train my son because he's mentally unstable? You never assume your kids are going to do that. You can't live in hindsight with this shit. You only can do that afterwards. You can sit there. This should have happened. Nobody in the world probably thought this kid was going to do this shit. But now
it's not something you expect.
Hindsight, we go, oh well, if there was a teacher with a gun in there, what was he going to do? Pull it out? It doesn't work like that. That doesn't work in real life. You know what I mean? It's just.
I've heard of one situation where some crazy person came to a church or some type of church function, and there was an off-duty cop there, and he started shooting at people. But that was an off-duty cop.
Individual.
What's that? I couldn't hear.
It's a trained individual.
Yeah.
It's different than a civilian with a gun.
Yeah,
it always will be.
I haven't really looked at the NRA. Oh, there was this funny article. Someone posted it up. The NRA is pointing the finger at video games. They're the reason that people are acting the way they do. They're the reason there's so much gun violence. The NRA literally 2 or 3 weeks later released the NRA shooting game because they released video games and it came out 2 weeks later, and it's a game where you shoot deer and stuff like that.
If they're gonna blame the video game, I want to see Remington come out of fucking Black Ops 2.
Yeah, there you go.
That name needs to, or is it Modern Warfare 3? The gun names need to come
Bushmaster.
out.
Yeah, well, they did that with GoldenEye. They had guns that were modeled after real life counterparts, but they changed the names of them so that you wouldn't make those types of associations.
Oh, that and they'd have to pay for the licensing too. Use the name Remington or whatever else. That's why a lot of them, like the Call of Duty 4, the W1200 pump shot. That's the Winchester 1200. They just put the W, the designation there, so they didn't have to probably pay Winchester.
That makes sense.
X amount of dollars.
The other thing, though, is you said that he had the backup shotgun. Wasn't the Virginia Tech shooting? Didn't that guy only have pistols?
I think so.
I believe he only had pistols, and that was the worst. I believe that was the worst shooting.
I think it was 30 some odd people got killed.
Yeah, and I believe
we did it after 9/11 too, though. We went and we did all this shit where we're going to put a air marshal on the plane. We did all this shit, and now they're going to look inside your asshole every time you get on a plane. And the truth is that 9/11 would have been prevented if they just locked the cockpit doors. Those guys had box cutters and shit. That's not getting through a door. But we went and did all this other bullshit that just doesn't work. I have yet to hear one solution to how this would have been prevented, and the fact is, you can't prevent it. Even if there was no guns, he would have came in there with a fucking machete, and that's the way it works. The guy, he went to bed that night knowing he was going to wake up and kill his fucking mother.
What's wrong?
I clicked on something. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Wiggy's gonna be streaming some porn next.
Yeah, it's just big old videos on the screen. Well, I don't know if you can say down to a machete though, because somebody could have stopped him then if it was a machete. It's a difference.
A bunch of kids. Once he got that teacher in that first classroom, I'm saying yes, someone could have stopped him.
It wouldn't have been to that scale.
But he was going to do that. He's fucked up in the head.
The motivation. Yeah, the only thing that's really gonna You okay, Wiggy?
I just got to quit fucking clicking on shit.
You're so ADD.
I am.
Yeah, I think that the number one thing is just parents' accountability, just monitoring that kind of stuff. Because even the shooting in the Batman theater shooting, like when they called the mother, she's like, "Oh yeah, that's my son." She knew it immediately. Like that's
Look at his
there-
haircut. You had to know that kid was going to shoot up something.
yeah, that kind of well, he was fucking crazy. But yeah, like there needs to be just more.
That comes down
accountability.
to it. Whenever I see a shooting when it's a perfectly fucking sane person, let's go investigate what happened to that guy. But these people are fucking crazy. You can't regulate crazy.
Yeah, there's normally something off kilter about it, but I think a lot of parents or a lot of people think that it's nothing. It's just the way they are, their nature, and they don't want to investigate too much into it. But I think that's probably the best solution of it all is just being much more accountable to the people around them. But I guess that's kind of hard to ask somebody, like going up to somebody is like, hey, or like, would you go approach that? Hey, I think you need psychological help. Because what like I mean, sometimes people are just weird.
And I mean, not to get off on a tangent, but to be honest with you, the way insurance and shit is, people can't get mental health checkups and
Yeah.
shit. They can't afford it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I
Yeah, but
don't.
none of that shit would have helped this situation. That's what I'm saying. He used his mother's guns. So now you're at. Now
Oh,
you're
you mean in
assuming
terms
that-
of rifles or weapons?
no,
cans?
of him getting a hold of weapons.
Yeah. Oh,
If
yeah.
if we had a law that said, if you're mentally unstable, I don't know how that law would work, but let's just say that was the case.
Well, it
He
might.
still would have got these
I
weapons
would-
because they weren't fucking his.
I
They weren't
would-
illegal, but they weren't his.
I think they would probably take that next logical step, where if you are staying with, you can't have weapons with somebody who's mentally unstable.
See, but then that's why it'll never happen because we're
When does
talking
that-
about a constitutional right.
There's so many gray
That's it.
areas in
Mm.
that.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I said the number one thing is parent accountability. That's how you stop it. The mom has to recognize, or somebody has to recognize that this kid needs help.
Well, she took him shooting, so yeah, she didn't do that.
No, she
It
didn't
was
really need
hard.
help. So I think that's probably one of the better things. It's just people taking more personal responsibility. I don't personally. I don't know why people need an assault rifle. Like I don't know why that's a necessity. If you're going hunting, I don't know why you would need some large caliber rifle like that.
I do.
No, assault rifles aren't any larger than my 7mm shoots a bigger round. That's my hunting rifle than my AK-47 does. It's
How many rounds can it hold though?
my AK
Yeah.
30 in each mag, but
But and how many rounds can the pistol hold?
my 7mm
Yeah.
rifle, I guess like 4.
4 rounds.
Yeah, bolt action rifle.
Part of my concern a lot of times is like what was it? I'm trying to remember which one guy did it. I think it was the Batman shooter guy. You can buy like these large round mag drums.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can buy 150 round drums.
Yeah,
for,
like, I don't understand the necessity for that at all.
For a pistol, yeah, that's nuts.
Well, even for a rifle, what are you?
Yeah.
no rifle.
That's true.
Unless you're going out and like having a big day of shooting it,
150
That's-
bullets for
Oh.
shooting?
Oh, that's around where I live. Out in the middle of nowhere. Guys will go out and they'll shoot all afternoon and they'll shoot pumpkins and barrels and whatever else. And
I don't know.
There is an
I mean,
argument
that's the
to be
hobby.
had.
They
though.
go out to their big range and that's what they do. But I have no use for it. Just
When-
more or less it's a noisemaker for me. Go out, empty 30 rounds into an old 55-gallon drum, made some noise, had some fun. That's about all there is to it.
It's that
when the
same-
Constitution and the Bill of Rights and all that shit was written, there was. I mean, tell me the difference between military grade weapons and civilian. What, a cannon? I mean, they were all using fucking muskets. You know what I mean? If see, but the
Yeah,
know,
well, I mean, when they
it's-
instituted that type of, because there's a couple things. When you're going to form your own militia to have security for the state, or for your overall well-being, it was feasible to get a large enough group together and fight the power because everybody could, or I don't know if everybody, but you could manufacture weapons that could fight the opposition. Now, the governments and people can have weapons way, 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 way above what civilians are allowed to get.
Yeah, civilian militia now, you might get guys with AR-15s and AK-47s.
What's that going to do
Government's
against
going to
the
roll
Scud
in
missile?
with they're going to roll in with an Abrams. Abrams
Yeah.
turns people into liquid. So if you
So-
want to go charge at that with your assault rifle,
I mean,
go right ahead.
that mentality.
I don't want to be liquid, so I'll just go down to the bar and drink until the shit's cleared, and then
you're not
You
gonna
know,
have you're not gonna have a militia overthrow at least the U.S. government. So it's kind of I can understand people wanting the right to have a gun, but I don't know. And I can also I definitely understand the concept that if you apply these laws, the only people that are really going to suffer are the people that
You know,
hold the law. So people that give two shits now, the people that have illegal guns, the people that scrape off the serial numbers, people that don't care, they're still going to get guns. So, I mean, I do see that as a problem. And I think anytime you do, and one end, I think saying you're going to form like the basis of it, forming a militia to fight against the government, you're not going to fight against the government with an AR-15.
No,
no,
when they're sending drone strikes at
Yeah,
your fucking house,
that's not going to fly.
dumbasses.
But but on the
Although
Red
other,
you
Dawn
could
will
shoot down
not
a
work.
predator
It was
pistol
a
with
movie.
one, too, couldn't you?
what was that? Wasn't there a movie where what was it? The
Red Dawn.
Wolverines,
Yeah, Red Dawn.
the Dawn.
Red Dawn. It would work in the '80s because that was '80s and shit wasn't up to par, and we were fighting communists. But yeah, satellites and everything today, they probably saw me picking my nose 2 hours ago through my living room window. It's just what I don't know. Speaking
Especially
of
since
guns,
we're
we should
scared.
talk about Tomb Raider. Lara Croft has a bow and shoots people in the face.
That's the strangest transition. You don't even fucking
Yeah,
talk about that.
she
Speaking
don't
of
need no
guns,
fucking gun. She
there's a
pulls out a
bow and
reaper.
arrow. So
People in
you're
the face.
excited for that? I think it's definitely a change of pace from. So are we done? I guess
that's fine.
Kurt's done.
That's fine. I think
Kurt's
We'll just go around
I just don't
circles
want to
if
bore
we're not.
everybody. I know that it's just a topic that's been beat to death. I've seen it on Twitter, the
yeah.
forums, my Facebook. I don't go to the bar right now because everybody talks about it and the revolution. I'm just like, I just want to drink Guinness, fucking get hammered and
And
listen to music.
I
Leave me
was
alone.
I wasn't gonna
But
say
that's how those
anything,
companies make money.
but this discussion right here is exactly why I directed it. Tried to turn it towards
Yeah. Oh,
cancer
I mean,
awareness. This is a
that's a
prime
good.
example of why I did it.
Well, I do think that's something needs to be discussed when it comes to gun violence, but at the same time, yeah, it definitely. I don't think it's video games fueling the problem, and I think from a YouTuber standpoint or people that play video games standpoint, that's a good way of redirecting the attention. It's not video
Yep.
games that I think are the main, or they're not. I don't even think they're. They might be a tiny. They're not the reason people are doing it. Maybe they
No.
can kind of supplement it, but at its core, it's other environmental.
I would come closer to believe that video games were violent if more people like drove to Pittsburgh and tried to murder Grit because he stomped the shit out of him in a lobby. Good luck with
Well,
that.
I have
Good
heard
luck
of,
with that. That was just the only example I had at the moment.
there was a guy in Britain who was being trolled by somebody in Call of Duty, and he found the kid and came over and punched him in the face.
Good for him.
So it
See,
happens.
he didn't
Punch
shoot
him
him in
in
the
the brain
face with a gun.
pulse.
What's the problem?
So
There's
but
nothing
yeah.
wrong with some good hand-on-hand violence. Ask Grit. He'll tell you.
Hitler did play Call of Duty.
Hitler did. Yeah, Hitler did.
That's,
Yeah,
that's what the internet said.
before Hitler played Call of Duty,
Oh, he was a big quick scoper, I think. Not really sure though.
he was in PETA. He was in a lot of Habitat for Humanity, and then he played Call of Duty, and you know what happened.
Something went wrong.
All right, well then we'll switch over to but yeah. If you got anything you want to talk about with
Yeah,
that?
I mean, if you're watching the podcast and you're not forum related, if you watched my tweet that went out, thanks for coming in, by the way. But just support, the hashtag. It's kill cancer, not people. That's it. We can go on.
All right,
Thank
okay,
you.
cool. So Tomb Raider, I mean, I was never really a big fan of Tomb Raider when I was younger. It was a cool looking game, but I don't really care. But
I've never played. I might have rented one once, but I just, at that point in my life, I was like 18, 19. I had other things on my mind. I was a freshman in college. I was going out getting drunk and trying to figure out a puzzle to get out of drowning in a tomb. Looking for a relic just wasn't my idea of something to waste time playing video games. It was still like Madden or something else. It just wasn't.
But this trailer's got you interested?
Yeah, just I watched. They had some live feed thing going on, like I said, on YouTube. It's like an hour and a half. I probably watched 20 minutes of it. The single player looks cool. Watched a couple multiplayer videos, and the dude that played Chuck, he's actually a playable multiplayer character, like a skin for him.
Really?
So it's kind of neat. He's running around with a shirt that says nerd on it. But
How does the multiplayer work?
um, It's like I think it's the ones like team deathmatch, like survivors versus scavengers or something, and then you have your guns, bow, whatever, and then there's like the natural environment stuff like booby traps and
Hmm.
whatnot that are
Boobies.
set up that you can utilize to get other people. Get three people chasing you. You run through get them to follow you through a booby trap, and a big log will come down and smash them. Schwarzenegger style, a la Predator.
Yep.
They had lightning rods that you can set up because some of the maps where it storms, it's a stormy environment map. You hook up the lightning rod, people, aren't paying
Walk
attention,
near it.
go by, yeah, and then they get fried. So, I don't know, just it's going to be a good change of pace, and it's a reboot of the franchise too.
I
It's on
hope.
this gen's console. It's going to look a hell of a lot better than it did on the PS1. I
Yeah.
can only imagine what is in
Yeah.
store on the next gen
Is it
systems
is it going to
for
be a
this kind of game.
360 exclusive? I mean, a
No, it's on
PS3?
all of them.
All of them?
That's on
Cool.
all systems. Yeah.
All of
Cool.
them, yeah.
I mean, I know the later Lara Croft games are getting kind of bad. I remember playing one of them or watching somebody play it, and it just looked horrible. I know the earlier ones, like the PlayStation exclusive ones, are pretty cool, but it's gotten. I don't. I'm tired of seeing reboots, but I don't know. Maybe it'll
It's
work
a
out.
entirely different direction from the other ones. So if you played other Tomb Raiders, I wouldn't
Yeah.
really
Yeah. I
wouldn't
mean,
really look at it like.
I can
I
see
mean,
that, but
this
sometimes.
one's, I think maybe supposed to take place like 5 to 10 years prior to the other Tomb Raiders,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
she's in her late 20s. Like she's like 20 or 21 in this game. It's like from her very first,
Yeah.
you know,
It's kind of like
whatever
Skyfall,
happened.
not
What's that?
Skyfall, Casino Royale,
Yeah,
like the first when he first got into it.
yeah.
So yeah, I guess I'll look into it. What other games? You guys were talking about a game I actually am really excited for, and you guys were talking about it before. Aliens Colonial, if I could say the damn word, Colonial Marines. That game looks fucking sick.
What's it called?
Aliens Colonial Marines.
I thought you'd fuck up the second time. Sorry.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna do that, asshole. I was prepped and
See,
ready.
Greg has figured out how this works around here. See, we don't have Stabby here to keep Gorilla in line, so now we got Greg to
There we
friggin'
go.
keep Bernie
Um,
lined up.
so I'm
Herpy free.
yeah. We don't believe in STDs in this forecast. So what do you guys think about that game coming out? I think it's. I'll look it up, but I think it's early
Is
February.
Colonial Marine
Well,
is that
Yeah.
is that an FPS or?
Yo,
Yeah.
very much as a first person shoot.
Oh,
It's
I'm interested.
like,
it's like Left 4 Dead, the way I gather it.
well, the I think it's gonna be a little bit more structured than Left 4 Dead. I think they're gonna have a horde. I think it's 3 types of gameplay. Let's see, when is it gonna be released? February 12th. You're gonna have a campaign, like a full-on campaign, where you have to do different things. I think you're gonna have a co-op campaign. Now, I don't know if that's a completely different campaign altogether, or if it's just drop in, drop out. The single, like you can just have people drop into your normal campaign, and then finally you're gonna have something like a horde mode. Oh no, you're also gonna have Aliens versus Marines 6v6. So that's kind of like
Yeah. That's like the Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead. Yeah, so that's cool. That could be pretty interesting. So I'm super psyched for this game because the last time I played a good Aliens game was '99. So, yeah,
Which one was that?
Aliens versus Predator. I actually just bought it on Steam like 20 minutes before the forecast and played the first mission. Recorded it. I'll be putting that up later this
That
week.
That's an RTS, isn't it?
No, it's a first person
No.
shooter. That game had 3 different campaigns as well. You play as the alien, the marine, or the predator.
I remember they put out an RTS game like that. My one roommate had it on his old Xbox. It was you could play one of the 3 different campaigns. It was like
Is it an
You know.
RTS though?
yeah.
I don't even know what it is. I have to look into that because I've never even heard of it. But yeah, no, this is a shooter, and you definitely see that it's an old game.
like watching a Doom.
No, it wasn't sprite based. It was they had polygons, but there's like maybe 5 polygons. It's not a lot. You'll see later. It's an ugly game. Well, it was a good looking game when I played it at the time, but that was over 13 years ago. So
Did it take you back?
yes, it was a good game. It was a really good game. It had a really good atmosphere. That's why I'm excited for this game because I think they actually wanted to kind of follow the same process with Aliens versus Predator. I think they wanted to do that because it was all about being in like these dimly lit corridors. One of the things that was really cool about it, and I think they're doing it in this game as well, is you had that motion sensor, which was an alien in Aliens. The motion sensor would tell you how far away the things were. um,
Pardon me.
um, so you can't. It would beep and it would give you kind of a general idea that things are coming, but you can't see them. You don't know where they are until they're right on top
So
of you.
that's where they got the heartbeat sensor from.
Yes, it's the heartbeat sensor. That's the heartbeat sensor. That's
That's
exactly what that is. Is the heartbeat sensor.
No,
So I'm really excited for it, and it seems like there's a lot of different ways. I didn't even realize there's competitive multiplayer, so they got a lot of shit in there. So that could be fun. I don't know. What do you guys think?
it has potential. I mean, you know, with the gearbox's name tagged on it, that kind of it's going to help it considering the
Definitely.
success of Borderlands. But
Mhm.
and Sega's the big deal behind it, which fuck, they've been around for what 25, 30 years now. You can't go wrong with Sega, but I mean, console, yeah, but they still put out quality games. It's just like I said, it'd be kind of cool playing the 6 vs 6 Left 4 Dead style. Okay, you got your Marines get from point A to point B, the aliens jumping out of who knows where to kick your ass. It's gonna be it has a lot of potential. We'll just hope Predator that comes down and kills everybody, because Predator is greater than Alien, which is greater than human. So
Yeah, that'd be funny if they added in Predator. I don't.
this,
Subi.
it doesn't matter. Predator always wins. I'll argue. He just pops up his gauntlet, boop, 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 boom. Everybody's dead. He wins.
Yeah, no, the Predator's badass. And did you see the Predators movie, the new one, like the latest one that came out?
The one with
with,
Adrian Brody?
Yes.
Yeah, the AA-12 shotgun. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
That
pretty
one-
decent.
It wasn't too bad. It was better than Aliens Resurrection and the fucking Aliens versus Predator movies. I'll give you that. So
Yeah, the one in Antarctica.
yeah, those are horrible movies. Subi, is this something you're interested in, or are you just kind of fapping for Last of Us?
No, it's probably going to be my last Xbox game I buy. I mean, from what I know that's coming out.
Yeah.
I told Greg that I would buy it. It looks fun. I don't know. I hope it's not shit.
I do. I mean, I really hope it's a good game because I like the franchise. I like the franchise for the movies, but it does have potential in terms of making the game. So,
We
I
need
don't know,
someone
Wiggy,
to take down the monster.
Wiggy, what do you think?
That's what I think. We need someone to take down the monster.
Um,
We all
Give me
know.
$100 million and some computer guys. We'll figure it out. I have ideas.
so next thing, it's coming out also in February is Dead Space 3. I don't know. Have any of you guys played Dead Space?
Nope.
None of you.
No.
I
I
just
got
a
into
little
I got
bit.
into watching a series one time.
It's a
I
really
think
bad series.
It didn't really go anywhere. It kind of was going, and it just kind of stopped. It just kind of ended.
Yeah, about that. That was I don't know who the hell that was. He sounds like a real jerk.
Yeah, you know.
So anyway, yeah, I'm actually doing that.
Apparently,
this
there's rumor there's some hidden files somewhere, but they'll
There-
never see the
okay.
light of
week.
day.
We really, honestly, never will. So okay, what's gonna happen is because I'm doing it this weekend. I've got a 3-day weekend. I'm gonna be doing it. But I recorded a video New Year's Eve last year.
Oh wow!
So 2011 to 2012, and I was shit faced when I recorded that Let's Play. I don't think that's coming up. I don't, but that is the next episode in the series, and that's still on my desktop right now. I can pull it up right now. It's still there. But anyways, Dead Space 3 is coming out. Stab and I did a co-op Let's Play, and if you guys haven't played it, you probably are not going to jump into this one now. It is a little different though. Maybe you guys are interested. Personally, from the Let's Play, it seems a little. Dookie's asking what the hell is War. I put it on the YouTube channel, Dookie. I put it today. What Warframe is. That's what
That
you
looked
subscribe
pretty
to.
interesting. I did agree that looked like Mass Effect though.
Yeah, I'll talk about that shortly. But Dead Space 3, I'm probably going to get it anyways, but it definitely doesn't seem as scary. It doesn't have the atmosphere that the other games do. It's you're out in the open. It's super bright. You can do co-op gameplay. I know you can do single player. I mean, obviously, having somebody with you is going to reduce kind of that scary aspect of it. But
Yeah.
even playing it solo, it's really bright and it felt a lot more action oriented.
That was the thing I liked about your series, because that is actually what what was that scary game where the guy chases you around? Was it Shudder?
Resident Evil 3, Nemesis,
No. It was a
The one in
computer.
the
You know what I'm talking? Somebody in the chat.
Slender
help-
Man.
Slender Man.
Yeah.
That actually watching you play that in the dark, playing Dead Space 2, that was real. I mean, that scared the shit out of you.
It was well, it's not too. I mean, it's immersive, but it's not like there's startle moments in there.
That's what I mean. Where
Yeah.
that Slender Man, to me, that seemed like that was fucking made
I
up.
got to figure out what to do though. I don't know if my Windows Movie Maker has like a video face cam. I don't know if I can do that or not. We'll see. We'll see. But I am recording it this weekend. What else? Okay, so yeah, that's the Dead Space 3. I'm gonna get it, but I think it's more of an action. It seems like it's more like Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6.
Oh,
So yeah, not. I mean, it could be better, but I mean, they're just taking the same approach. They're making it more accessible, which means they want to make more money, and that means they got to make it more action oriented. They can't just stick to their guns. Amnesia scared me more than Slenderman. I heard Amnesia is a good game, but it's too late to play that now. So what games are you guys playing now? We'll end it on that because I've got a shit ton of games. But what games?
I know what I'm about to go back to, but based on the news I heard today,
What's that?
that there was a major security patch on World at War, and if that's the
Oh,
case,
shit. Is that real?
I will be going back and playing that shit, and I know Grit's with me.
Dickheads with sunglasses.
Let's do it.
The hell is dickheads with sunglasses?
MP40 and shades.
And shades.
Dickheads
Flares
with
don't
sunglasses.
scare us. We don't give a damn.
Was that even a useful perk?
Yeah.
Yeah, with an MP40.
People use flares a lot in that game. I didn't. I wasn't playing World of War during its heyday.
I'm telling you, if just to hear Gary Oldman yell "War" again, that's what I'm talking about.
Gary Oldman. You mean? No, it's the dude from 24, wasn't it?
No.
Jack Bauer.
Yeah,
Well,
but he's Gary Oldman's the other character in.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, yeah. You got to let me know if that shit's passed. then
I
I'll
will
play
let you know
World
this
War, like,
weekend.
immediately. All right, cool. That's awesome. Any other games that you're playing right now?
That other one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. You're doing Wiggy Mouse. Explain what the hell Wiggy Mouse is, because that shit's bizarre.
I do Wiggy Mouse is when I talk like Mickey Mouse. I was sick, and I was actually playing online while I was sick, and my voice was going in and out. And for some reason, it got really high when I was talking, and I started laughing. I was like, and
God.
when I did that, the friggin' kids in the lobby died laughing. They thought it was the greatest thing ever. And I turned that into a character, which seems to be doing really well. Every time I kill somebody or they kill me, you can hear in the revenge chat, I'm laughing at them in the background. And then when the game's over, they're like, who the hell is that guy laughing like Mickey Mouse? And then I had one guy tell me, he goes, dude, that is the most dead-on Mickey Mouse I've ever heard in my life. And everybody's like, I know! It's amazing. I thought it was like a sound drop. I'm like, no, it's really me.
That's funny. All right. So there's Wiggy Mouse. So you're playing Shit Ops 2.
Yeah.
Anything else that you're playing?
I am playing Battlefield 3 on 360.
360.
We'll
So
have
you
to
gave
di-
up
360?
PC?
No, I'm still doing that too, but I can only take the dick so long. I have to take a break.
You got to get good at that. What you have to do is
I'm
get better.
trying.
You need to play with me.
Give me Oh, sure. Oh, that'll make my self-esteem go through the fucking roof.
Fucking, I'll be a medic. I'll just sit there.
A
and revive
medic.
you.
Yeah, you just sit there and revive me every 30 seconds.
Gets me points, so it works out for everybody. All right, Grit. What are you playing right now?
I've been playing a shitload of Skyrim for the last month. I got the DLCs and actually got Kay into playing it, which is the first time he put it in, he played it for 45 minutes and stopped. He put it in about a week and a half ago and hasn't stopped playing it. So,
Is the DLC any good? I haven't played Skyrim.
yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was well worth the 1,600 Microsoft points for each of them, plus the 400 for building my own house. I could put a trophy room and hang elf heads on the wall, so it's all cool. Well, I can put their armor on a rack, but still can't put their head on a wall. Dragonborn, it actually has when you complete it, you can respec your skill points that you put in. Like if you kind of wasted a couple somewhere,
Yeah.
you can take them away and put them back into something else, or you can take them all off and just change your character totally.
LBS was saying you could ride dragons, but that was kind of not as fun as it sounded.
No, I was like, oh, I'm on a dragon, and then it's who cares?
That's a disappointment, because that was the big thing about the game was.
I guess if someone would think it's cool, I'd rather smash a dragon in the face with a warhammer myself. But
Well, You can also ride into town on a dragon with a warhammer and then smash people.
No, because
On
then people don't like you and you can't buy stuff and they chase
you
you.
can do it to enemy villages. There you go. Well, why
Nah,
you can't
it,
buy stuff? You don't need to buy stuff. You take it by force with your dragon.
yeah. Well, no, I think you can just kind of use them for combat. I mean, like I said, I only rode the dragon once, and I didn't feel the need to chase the dragon again. It's just
Chase the dragon.
That's rare.
yeah,
From what I heard.
No, I just usually if I see a dragon, it's like, ooh, I'm gonna go kill it. I always forget that I can scream at it and it'll let me ride around on its back. So,
So Skyrim. Anything else?
um, I played some Modern Warfare 3 and ran around with the USP 45. That was fun. I was laughing pretty hard that night, but no, that's about it. I really haven't been reaching out into the stack of games. I mean, a little bit of Halo 4, but it's fun, but I get bored, but I still Forza Horizon put out the Rally Pack. It's pretty good, but it's no Dirt 3, so
I don't do any racing games, so
yeah.
I don't know the difference between them. But what? So you said Forza is better than Dirt, or is it the other way around?
Well, for the rally stuff, Dirt is king, but Forza Turn 10 did a pretty good job on the rally expansion they put out. Still, though, it bugs me the cars don't get dirty and you're driving around on dirt roads. That just that bugs me. I think because I played so much Dirt 3 that you start to race, your car's all shiny. By the end of the race, it just looks like shit. So it's I like that aspect they put in with the physics and all that mumbo jumbo.
All right. And Subi, you're sitting there smoking your e-cig.
Yeah, I've been playing. I've been playing Battlefield 3 on the PC. Trying to get better at that. Won't get better at that.
Takes time.
Keyboard?
How long have you been playing PC games?
Not long, but I'm never going to get efficient at player movement with the fucking keyboard.
I
can go straight really well, but when I get a turn,
I can turn as long as I'm standing completely fucking still. Don't let me do both because I'll run right off a goddamn
on a
hill.
mouse and keyboard that you can't even think about with a controller. I can't
fly anything.
We have seen your sniping footage. Oh,
I'm talking about just general. I'm just talking about general. I'm not trying to toot my horn. I'm just saying.
I would. Have you seen that shit?
That's how you get herpes lip when you toot your horn.
That's true.
Put your mouth on those damn horns. Yeah.
That's
put
right.
it on those other people's horns.
Tooting your horn leads to more school and more herpaderp.
Yep.
That's true.
So it just takes
can't
practice.
Fly. I can't do any of that shit. It's just not going to happen for me.
Flying, I've never tried because I don't like vehicles.
I literally can go straight up in a helicopter, but if I try to go forward, I just literally flip around and just land straight down. I can't.
I think I broke a record by crashing a plane by trying to take off. I didn't even get off the fucking ground. I ran into the barrier in front of me.
It just doesn't. I run out of road and I just hit a hill or something. And let's see. I've been playing God of War beta.
Was that any good?
War 3. It's very good. I'm trying to limit how much I play though. I don't get burned out.
Yeah. So the multiplayer's good.
Very. It's very different too. What I've been playing is called Team Favor for the Gods, and essentially you have to do shit to get favor from the fucking gods, and it sounds really easy, but it's not.
How involved with these things that you need to do? Is it standing somewhere? Is it killing something?
So it's standing places. It's killing the enemy team. There's a giant monster that
Cyclops that says
that you have to. Well, you don't have to kill him, but you can kill him, and it gets you, just shit like that. It's very. It feels very original, and it believe it or not, it plays so much like the single player that that's what I was worried about. It was gonna, the God of War formula wasn't going to work well. It does somehow. I'm not sure what they did, but there's no latency in the game at all from where I am anyway.
Well, it looks good.
I'm still playing Gran Turismo 5. I got my simulation wheel with feedback and all that shit. They just gave us free DLC for that, the new Corvette that they just showed off.
Oh, the 2014.
Yeah, the C7.
I think it looks sweet, the new one they have. But
the Stingray.
Yeah,
that thing looks ridiculous.
It sounds like a chainsaw, like all other cars in Gran Turismo, but it's very unique.
Well, how did you get into the beta for Ascension?
PlayStation Plus.
Okay. When's the game come out?
March 12th.
How long does the beta last for?
I don't know.
And let me know because I might jump onto that and get that.
You know what I would be interested to see, especially with his new PC, is seeing Gorilla play that medieval art, like night game.
Chivalry?
Yes,
Yeah.
that would-
I'll play that with Weedy sometime soon.
I would love to see you record some of that.
Yeah, I've got a lot of things that. Okay, what the hell's going on?
Oh, it's not
There we
me.
go. I got a lot of games I'm planning on putting up. Got a lot of things recorded. So yeah, let me know if there's something you want to play, especially multiplayer games.
That
Yeah.
game you streamed the other night where you're robbing the banks, fuck that
Heist?
game, man.
It's hard.
That
I'll
looked
talk about
fucking
that in a
ridiculous.
second.
It's like an
hard as shit.
endless wave of fucking cops coming at you, man.
It is, and they do so much damage to you. It's ridiculous. Okay, well, you have any other games you're playing? 'Cause I'll
You're
cover
talking about Payday.
Payday the Heist. Yes.
Don't play it on console.
Why?
It is so fucking hard on console because there is no.
It's not any
sticky aim
easier.
at all. No, but it's PC. It's the PC game literally poured. There's no sticky aim or anything. It's fucking brutal.
It's yeah, I believe it because that game is.
I watched
ridiculously
them for
hard.
about an hour, and Gorilla's like, man, fuck this game.
Yeah.
No.
It's
I'll
tough.
I'll talk about the games we've been playing. I've been playing Payday the Heist with Weedy, and we started off playing the second mission because he already played the first one, or somehow he got in there. What did he say? Who needs stick aim with a mouse? But he's talking about on console.
Yeah.
If you're playing on console and you don't have stick aim,
It's a
Weedy,
fucking controller. I thought I made that clear, Weedy.
or Weedy, he's special. So we played the second mission, got our asses kicked. I'm like, okay, maybe we need to. We just don't know what we're doing. So we played the first mission. First mission was we died one time, but then we beat it. It was kind of hard, but we still ended up beating it. Then we played the second mission, and we've been playing the second mission for like the past week. we played it over a weekend. It's just endless enemies, and you have a limited amount of ammo.
Was that supposed to be Dallas? Did I read that right? That mission that was
no, that
so
was
hard?
my name of my character. Is Dallas.
Oh, Dallas is your name of your character. Okay.
They have different names.
Got
They
it.
have a Left 4 Dead tie-in level.
Yes,
with
there's a
that.
Left 4 Dead time.
Did you play that yet?
No, because we're just trying to beat the fucking game. But how that works, I've seen it before. You're trying to steal like a sample from a patient in the Mercy Hospital, and then
okay.
I guess that sample that you take is what actually leaks out and kills everybody or turns them into zombies. So yeah, that game is Wiggy talked about not being able to fly. Skip to one. So that game is hard. Maybe there's something that Weedy has set up that prevents us from maybe he's got it on hard or something.
I've never seen Gorilla
Weedy
reload
has
that
done
many
too much
times
strife.
in my life.
Yeah, because there's so many. There's endless enemies, and then there's assault waves, which lasts for like 3 minutes, which you have to take on more enemies than normal, and then there's still a normal trickle effect as well. So it's hard. Weedy and I are gonna try it again tonight. And
At one point, they kind of got in a flanking position over to a side, and then they got fucking spawn trapped by the AI and couldn't get out of there.
So fuck that game. Game's hard. Another game I'm playing, obviously Battlefield 3. Still loving that game. Firefall, I got the beta. I posted up a video about that. It's gonna be a free to play first-person shooter MMO. I like the aesthetics. It reminds me kind of like of Borderlands 2 or Borderlands in general. And I like the overall concept. I think it plays very well, but at the same time, the missions are kind of boring. I think I said it in the video. Like you just sit there and you shoot stuff for very long periods of time. But I'm early level, and there's also a lot of PvP. When PvP is like team deathmatch and domination, and they have stuff like that. So it's going to be free to play. So if you have it on a PC, I mean, definitely go give it a try. But I don't know. They need more quests. They need more variety in quests. I think they've taken out a lot of quests because it's in beta, and they just want you to roam around and fuck around with shit. But it's I don't know. The one thing that's kind of cool, at least it was cool initially, and a lot of MMOs. When you gather resources, it's kind of boring. Like you just go and pick like flowers or mine or something like that. In this game, you get a big ass hammer, smash it against the ground, and that tells you like what's the resources in the area. So you find an area where you want to gather resources, and then you call down a thumper. That thing comes down and starts gathering resources for you. But while it's happening, it pisses off everything in the area. So they come and they try to destroy it. So it takes like 5 to 10 minutes for it to gather all the resources 100%. If they destroy it, you lose all your resources that it's gathered. So you have to protect that thing. It's like attack or a defend kind of situation, or a horde mode kind of situation where you're defending it for a long period of time. So you kind of, if they're really destroying your thing, you have to kind of weigh your loss. Like, okay, we've only absorbed, or we've only gathered 75% of the resources. Do we want to keep defending it and sending it back home, or do you want to see if we can get 100%? So that's a really cool aspect. But it does need a little, I don't know, it needs some more variety in it, I think. And then finally, I'm playing League of Legends, but I'll talk about that on another day. One game that I think is getting a little bit of buzz, people have been asking about it, and I really like it, is Warframe, which is for me, it's very reminiscent of Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, except instead of it being like a horde or like a central area where you have to do objectives on a small map, it's a much larger progressive map. Normally you have to go to one side of the map and then escape again. That game, I think, has a lot of potential. It's a lot of fun. I like the aesthetics, although I hope that it gets varied as you get further into the game. Did you guys see the video that I put up?
Yeah, it was
today?
Yeah, I
kind of
watched a little bit of it this afternoon.
It was kind of the same palette all the way through.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then all the missions are like that. But it's also, you're on different planets in the solar system, so maybe that's just Mercury. We're starting in the center, it's Mercury, so maybe it changes when it gets out. You're like a samurai space ninja is the best way I can describe it, because you got a big ass gun, a big ass sword. And
you got it. It's a katana, right?
You can change that up. You can have like a giant axe. I think you can have a big hammer. Like, you can have all these different high-powered melee weapons. Although the melee isn't super complicated, you spam E, but it's still you have like Vanguard abilities, so you can rush in and cut people in half. And you have, like, I think it's like 9 characters in total that you can play. Like, you can purchase, and that's going to be a free-to-play game. And I'm really liking that game a lot. I think as long as they find ways to vary things up and make the combat more or varied, and they have different types of enemies, and you can work with different people, I think that could be a pretty awesome game. I'll definitely record some of that gameplay in the future. But yeah, lots of different games, and none of them make me rage. So yeah.
That's why I started playing Skyrim again. Then again, being an elf, not an elf, but a mage, and you're like, oh, I want to go take over this fort, and then you get hit with a axe and you're dead. I just like wearing the heavy armor and giving me the hammer and just go fix things myself.
There you go.
I wanted to say, it is early 2013, and supposedly the Dark Arisen DLC going to hit sometime in the next couple months for Dragon's Dogma. That's one that a couple of us are waiting on, so I hope that comes sooner than later.
Did anyone play The Witcher at all?
Timmy, LBS played it.
Yeah, he
had good things to say. Timmy played it, had good things to say. He said he just doesn't have time to finish it because of work. He said he'd ship it out my way, so maybe I'll take him up on that and give it a run through and hop on here one Thursday night and talk about it a little bit, and maybe get LBS in here. And I know Night Prowler played it on PC when it first came out, so.
Damn, 2015. Well, the reason I said that is because I heard a lot of good things, and I just saw a trailer for Cyberpunk 2077, which is being made by the same studio that made The Witcher, and that's kind of like, you're in the future, cyberpunk, obviously, and it's all about, like, people do, like, body modifications. Like, it's almost like plastic surgery. Like, if people want a new face, they just put on a mechanical face. If they want a new arm, all that kind of stuff. But the problem with it is sometimes people go crazy, and they lose control, start killing people. So I don't know. I don't know if you're part of the police force that stops that, or if you're one of those people that are modified. Look at the trailer. It's pretty cool, and I like sci-fi stuff, so it could be interesting.
It's kind of like how they did the Deus Ex stuff, where you get the
yeah, it's like Deus Ex. Yeah, where
you get the the mods for your
yes.
I don't know. Yeah, LBS played that one too and was explaining it to me one night. So it's just when you first started talking about it, it's like, oh, reminds me of the Deus Ex stuff. So
now I know you're not really a vehicle person, but I've been seeing these commercials for World of Tanks.
Yes, that is a free. Actually, I have a Russian coworker, because I think it's really popular. Well, I work in a tech company we got people all over the country, or I was gonna say the country, all over the world that work there. But I think it's very prevalent in, like, Russian, I don't know, I want to say Eastern European countries. But it's a free to play game, so if people want to play it right now, you can go download it. But you have one tank. Or when you play in a match, you have one tank. So when it dies, you're done. You just have to hope your teammates survive. And you have stuff like Capture the Flag, Team Deathmatch, and these huge maps. And they have very, very realistic bullet physics or physics. So sometimes if you can have designed certain tanks so that the bullets will ricochet based on the angle of your tank and where it hits, and like all these different calibrations that are incorporated into it. You can make like assault tanks, artillery tanks. It's free to play, so the big focus is customization, and you get that through either in-game currency or paying for it. And you can have like these different garages. It's getting a lot of popularity. I don't know how popular it is stateside, but I know.
I saw a shit ton of commercials on YouTube about it today. Like you would watch a video, in between every video you'd watch World of Tanks.
It's something I've seen a lot of gameplay for. I've heard a lot about it because the guy I work with plays it all the time. I'm personally not all that interested in it because it seems a little too slow paced for me. But it is very I mean, it is there's a ton of customization. You can play a bunch of different roles. You'd think if it's a tank game that you'd be limited to that, but you have a lot of different roles you can play as a tank. You can have light tanks that can be used for scouting. You can have these heavy tanks that are meant for like your primary damage dealers, and in between. There's American, Russian, German, and there might be even more in there. And I believe they have like World of Ships and World of Planes, and I think they're going to eventually merge all that stuff together to be like one giant game. So there's if you're big into vehicles and you're big into like historic combat, then I don't want to say, is it historic? I don't know if it's like they said it.
The tanks that I saw in the commercial, yeah, that they said older tanks.
So if you're into that, then it's a lot of fun. He's always talking about how great it is, but at the same time, you only get one life, and for me, it's a little too slow paced. So I'm not really interested in. I could try. I mean, it's free, so I can download it and try it. I don't mind. Definitely don't mind giving it a try. But apparently, it's also kind of difficult. And
shit.
so we'll see. There's a lot of good. It's one of the things that's happening a lot lately. There's a lot of free to play games. Firefall's free to play. Warframe's free to play. Hawken. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
We talked about that may be the trend too.
Yeah. The difference is though, how fun is it? Because like, if there's a game that I truly, truly, really enjoy, then yeah, I'll spend money. But if it's kind of like, I just want to keep progressing, then how fun is that grind to unlock stuff?
All right.
League of Legends is probably one of the best free to play games. That's why it's becoming so popular, because they're making so much money, and that game was 100% free to play. But yeah, Hawken, if you guys haven't seen that, you guys might be interested in that. It's giant mechs that just destroy everything.
So I think I might have seen some in that in the Game Informer. One of them I have. There was a new mech game, and I was like, oh, because I love the Armored Core games. It's just they got insanely hard after like so far into the game, and my patience wore thin.
What are you saying? Free to play is good as long as it's pay to win, and yeah, I can agree with that. I think Planetside 2. I think Weedy was saying that's kind of pay to win. That's another game I need to try as well. But apparently, you could just buy weapons real quickly and just become more powerful than everybody else. I haven't tried it personally. I don't know, but I've heard from other people that that's kind of the way it goes. I haven't played it yet though, so I don't know. Can't say.
It's hard to make a middle ground on free to play.
Well, I mean, League of Legends did it. I think it's fine. I think maybe with shooters it's a little bit more difficult because a lot of times like you have like I don't know how well that would work in shooters, but in games like League of Legends it works fine. Blacklight was kind of like that also. Yeah,
so didn't you say in that video that I watched today that you only get 4 lives a day?
Yes. So if you
that's
die,
interesting.
I don't like that at all.
No.
Because it's easy to die. It's very easy to die.
Oh,
I was playing solo today.
Solo
today, and I was dicking around, and then out of nowhere, I was down to no life. What happens is if you die, you can do 2 things. You can revive, or you can just exit. But then you lose everything that you gained in that mission. So if you had a bunch of experience, if you unlock something that was really important, that's kind of a rare item.
Having to pull your credit card out. Wait, no.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works. We just tribes is well balanced, but it's having 4 a day. It's easy to die, and then having to pay to buy more revives. I don't know. I don't really like that. Maybe if you have other characters, because War Z does that kind of shit. Like War Z has it so that you can like buy new revives or something, doesn't it? Or buy new slots or character slots. Fuck that game. The creator
love War Z.
Well, the creator of DayZ today was saying that he's actually pissed at that game. Like he actually made out a statement that it's like people are associating me with War Z, and it's frustrating. Like this shitty quality game, they think I'm the one who made this game. Because you like the hardcore people know the difference, but people that might be on the sideline, they're just hearing the news. War Z, DayZ, they might not. They both end in Z, so they're just like. So he's like, yeah, I'm pissed at the game. And he didn't call it a scam, but he's like, to say it's a scam, that's a loaded word, but that game's a fucking scam. It's a scam. And I mean, if people are enjoying it, more power to them, but that's just, all it is a quick money grab. They just built it real quickly off the back of the success of DayZ. So
I like Black Ops 2.
off the success of what?
Of Black Ops.
You mean of Modern Warfare 3 and Modern Black Ops? And
Not really.
every single game is built off the previous.
I bought Black Ops 2 because I like Black Ops.
All right.
Yeah.
FOF. Fuck off Friday.
Yeah, there we go. No more negative stuff.
World at War.
Yeah, we'll do that. So,
We're gonna stream
Hey,
that shit too.
Tell you what, Kay and I actually jumped on Black Ops last night for a bit, and it was fun.
Well, that game was fun.
It's I was doing funny shit. I was laughing. I was like, we're winning. I'm just gonna run around with a pistol. That's got a first blood with the direct impact tube. That had me cracking up too. It was even better because the dude had flak jacket. So normally it wouldn't have killed him, but I hit him right in the freaking teeth. So game over.
All right, well, yeah, fuck off Fridays for everybody in the stream if you guys are interested. We'll have maybe Wiggy. Wiggy, you can coordinate that tomorrow.
I will.
Yeah, so we'll do that tomorrow, especially if World of War works, because I still have my disc.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna immediately come home, throw it in, and if we're good to go about 7 o'clock Central, we're gonna do it.
That's awesome. All right, well, I'm looking forward to that, and
I'll be home 9:30
All right, very
Eastern.
good.
So.
we'll work something out. So appreciate it, guys, for coming
Last
out.
of Us May 7th.
This was a good one. We flowed all. That was a quick hour, and that was fast.
That's good.
We
Yeah,
did
that's good stuff.
And I did not play Nintendo. like
Yeah,
I
that's
promised.
a plus. There you go. That's awesome. Well, I appreciate it, guys, and
Hey, thank you for having me.
yeah, and like always, guys, take it easy.